Okay. Hello, here. It's Lisa Stade of the YouTube channels of Lisa Stade and Hitler Obsessed. Coming to you with part 14 of what I said before was to be part 14 of 2.0. Because I already have, I think, a 14 with audio of the lecture series of the life and death of Adolf Hitler. Now, where I left off was about Hitler writing the Mein Kampf. Now, I would love to do a review of that horrible manifesto, but I would be very fearful of how YouTube might respond, and knowing I'm doing this on a college campus about to transfer, how they might respond, and how the university might too that I want to transfer to might respond. Yay. This is our life. This is our world we live in. So where I left off was Hitler was writing the Mein Kampf. Now, a little bit of a breakdown of what it is. It's part 2 series. And yes, Hitler did do supposedly a secret book. Now, Mein Kampf, the first and second volume versus the secret book, is a 2-part volume, with volume 1 being I wonder how many of the students actually realize that they are gonna be seen by millions of people. Just wondering, random thought there. But part 1 of Mein Kampf is that it is Adolf Hitler's autobiography, or what he wants you to believe is his autobiography. I mean, when you read this, you have to know that he's a pretty biased person. He's a politician. He's wanting to make himself look good, and he's wanting to make his party, the Nazi party, to look good and above and better. So, you know, it is an okay book for reference. So if you're going to use it for a reference there, it's okay book to use. Not where you get the facts on Hitler. You can get the facts on his ideology, probably what he's believing. That's about it. I'm going to make the suggestion that if you're going to ever use that, God forbid don't quote it, I think it's the bee's knees. Should be obvious that I have to say that on YouTube inside, you know, but you wouldn't believe how many people are so anti-intellectual, anti-historian, anti-higher education, even on a college campus. I'm surprised. But okay, back to what I was saying. So, you know, part 1 is Hitler's no autobiography from his childhood, all the way up to, you know, the failed beer hall pooch. And then part 2 is Hitler's, you know, pretty much the volume 2 of Mein Kampf is Hitler's just ideology. And Nazi propaganda ideology, and how it's supposed to be structured, and the whole party program, and the anti-Semitism, and just the rancid racism and stuff, and all the other stuff I can't say on YouTube. Though it's very questionable stuff. So that's what part 2 is. And yes, Mein Kampf did have a lot of, kid you not, one of the interesting facts of that manifesto was that Hitler did have a lot of terrible grammar. I know, he wasn't a grammar Nazi, he was just a regular Nazi. And in no way, you can't choose what fate has in store for you. Guess he couldn't. But yet again, you know, when it came to translating this, it was a nightmare to translate into regular correct German. It was hell to translate into English. If you read the American version, you get to hear the American translator to English pretty much sound like he has to vent, and everyone has to suffer. Because already Mein Kampf is a hateful book. I guess the audience must suffer to hear about the nightmare that is translating this into correct German and into American correct English, you know? Because Hitler never wanted this change. This is the way he was. I've met people like that. You try to argue with them about any kind of grammar or spelling, and they'll say, nope, that's my way, and that's how it's gonna be. So for anyone out there who might be watching that probably knows about, maybe some of you are viewing these videos, teacher, you probably have one of those students that probably are that way. Grading must be a nightmare with that student. Because they're like, nope, I still want that A. I mean, but back to what I was saying, versus, Hitler's, Hitler's secret book. I have it right here. I have my version of it. Hitler did write a secret book. He did have that kind of locked away in a vault somewhere, but some Allied soldiers supposedly found it. That's the whole origin story. Now, when I read that, I had to read that with a grain of salt, because back in the end of World War II, and even today, there are a lot of fakes floating around. Anyone that's, I don't collect, war memorabilia from that time. I don't collect any memorabilia from any time because I am a college student. I don't have that kind of money lying around. But from people who do collect that, they can tell you there's a lot of fakes. And I read that like, is this really Hitler talking, or could this be a fake? Because yes, there was an infamous case of a bunch of Hitler diaries. I would love to put that in this lecture series, but that might be for another time. But they turned out to be fakes. But this was an issue even after World War II, after Hitler and the Nazis ended. The little Third Reich on, was it May 8th? May 8th was, I think, the original day. Well, VE Day was May 2nd, but the war ended around, I think it was May 8th, 1945. Hitler died on April 30th, the field bunker. But Hitler and a lot of the Nazi stuff, yeah, those are authentics. But no, a lot of the collectible community has to do with fakes now. Just like anything else, Come on, this is an issue even to use a modern day comparison for my generation. You have fake Pokemon cards floating around. Anyone remember Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Yeah, you had fakes floating around there. You have that too. It's still a thing. It's, I guess, no different from what happened to the Third Reich stuff versus now. A little bit of a tangent there for you, a little bit of backstory. But Hitler's secret book does kind of sound like Cliff Notes to me. If I'm gonna give a review, it sounds like Cliff Notes to what I just described, Part 1 and 2, Volume 1 and 2 of Mein Kampf for you. But yet again, so that was another little thing Hitler did. And eventually Hitler does get out for good behavior from Landsberg prison. Oh, there's a couple of fun little stories I'll have to put in the next video sometime. But yes, Hitler did, from what several of the wardens described, it seemed like a little cult following. They would have the meals all together. They had all the Nazi leaders together, and Hitler in a room. they'd all hang out in Hitler's jail cell. So he got all the perks that in Landsberg prison that probably was not common at all for any prisoner to be getting. I mean, heck, they even had a way that they found out how to smuggle in alcohol into Landsberg prison for all the SA stormtroopers. That didn't end well. I'll probably have to put that in another video there. But Hitler eventually did have a lot of control over everyone still. And I guess, if you think about it, if you kept a cult leader and his followers together in a room, and they all just were hanging out, eventually, the ideology and stuff would ferment and things would go probably awry if you just let them out into the wild. Which most likely things did, because Hitler went straight into a political campaign once he was done. He went straight back into politics. Because he eventually had to get everyone loyal back to him. And everyone, because he had to have everyone swear allegiance to him again to get rid of all those fractions of fracturing, splintered groups of the Nazi Party. Because yes, Hitler did that. He actually knew about it because he had that as like a fail-safe plan, I guess, too. In case if something happens to me, the party keeps going. Which, eventually he said, it will probably also do something or two. In case if all the party keeps going, as a billion different little names, and is completely outlawed, as in SDAP, but can exist as a bunch of little groups, under little pseudonyms and secret names and stuff, and, he eventually did come back to join all the groups together, and that was his plan. He was like, when all these groups are not the Nazi Party anymore right now, if he was in prison, just in case, he would come back and have them swear allegiance. Eventually, the Strasser guys seemed to say F and kind of got used to Hitler being gone, and that kind of what led to their end. During the Night of Long Knives. But also those guys did do a smear campaign against Hitler too. So, that's for another video. So I'm going to end here on part 14 of part 2.0 of part 14 by signing off and saying this is Lisa State of the YouTube channels of Lisa State and Hitler Obsessed, telling you to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, setting it to all so you can see all notifications in your recommendation on your homepage on YouTube here. Leave a comment, share these videos, donate to my Patreon, donate to my subscribe stall. You can see my bitchutechannel.com at LisaMarie at bitchute.com. You can donate to my Patreon, become patron, donate to my subscribe stall. You can send me a friend request, leave me a comment on my Facebook page or Facebook Messenger at Lisa State. And now on to part 15.